The average millionaire has 7 streams of income is the biggest load of rubbish I have ever heard. It's not the fact that it's a lie. Apparently the average multi-millionaire has 7 streams of income, but it's so misleading. And often I hear this information spouted at seminars and stuff like that, where incidentally they're trying to sell you multiple streams that you can invest in. But let me tell you why it is terrible advice, and just locking in the fact that 7 streams were once 6, which was once 5, 4, 3, 2, and started with just 1 stream of income. Let me give an analogy. Let's draw the beautiful blue sun that we have up in the sky. Pretty powerful stuff, around 450 quintillion joules of energy hitting us every single hour of the day. And yet, that is real, by the way, that is a real number. And yet, how does it not blind us throughout? How does it not burn us and melt us? And it's actually because of the lack of focus. And I'm going to write that down as a really important word. Focus. It's because there's no focus, it's a disparity. And because of the curvature of the earth, without getting too geeky, at worst, you're going to get a light burn, and if you're ginger, probably slightly worse than the average human. So there's burnings coming down, but what about lasers? If we look at this laser here, not known for being an artist by the way, and that's beaming out to us, that's going to be 1 to 3 kilojoules. Okay, these 1 to 3 kilojoules is enough to zoom and burn your hand off, like cut it off, you know those laser cutters? That's how much. So 450 quintillion joules, 1 to 3 kilojoules. Why is that? Because it has a pure focus beam that comes out and has the attention. Great, Jamie. Well, that's a sun and a laser. How does it actually equate to our results? Well, this is how it works. So if you think about growth, most people think that time and energy on this graph equals the result in this fashion, which is linear fashion. So if we said this was time here, and we split this up into 4 sections, you've got 25% of your time, 25% of your time, 25% of your time, and 25% of the time, right? So if you then got these results here, 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 and here, it kind of doesn't matter if you split your focus, because if you want to focus on 2 things, great, you get, let's call this 5, 10, 15, and 20 as a result, and we'll put some real numbers on. If you want to focus on 1 thing, amazing, you get 20 times 100% of your focus. Or indeed, you could go, do you know what, I'm going to focus on 2 things here, no problem, because I'm going to get 50% of focus to get 2 times 10. It's the same result. But what about reality? Well, the reality, if we get rid of this, is that actually the time and energy curve in terms of the results looks more like this. So let's put a monetary figure, and this is called exponential growth. So again, we've got the same time horizons, 25, 25, 25, and 25. But the actual investment, let's put real figures on this. Let's say 25K, 50K, 75K, and 100K. And what this is, let's call this a 1-year period down here. Well, scenario 1, and this is natural, if you've got 100% of your time, and that's all you can give, let's say you've got 10 hours a day, that's all you can physically focus on something. If I then said, right, actually you need to split your time between these 2 things, 5 hours and 5 hours, factually you are giving it 50% input to each. But that doesn't mean 50% output to each. Now let me explain that. So if I go and put in just this amount of effort here, you're going to get that result. So 25%, what? Let's call that 5K there. If you put 25%, or again here, which is now 50% on this, you're now going to have what? Let's call that 12.5 thousand. If you're then going to put another 25% here, let's call that 40,000. And then if you put 25% there, That's obviously going to get you 100,000. So this is why I think multiple streams of income are ridiculous, especially at the beginning. Okay, so what happens at the beginning is you have to focus on active income rather than passive income. And so if I said to you, listen, I'm going to focus on 4 things, but it's absolutely fine because I'm going to get 4 sets of 25% of results, right? No, because the curve works like this, and I'll give an example. I work really hard now. I really do work hard. I work around 100-hour weeks, I would say, and I've done that fairly consistently. But my 100-hour weeks 8 years ago maybe would make me 5 grand a month, maybe 10 grand a month. Now I'm averaging, well, I'm always doing over £500,000 a month net of VAT. So it's like, well, are you working harder? No, it's just the fruits of my labor come out more and more. So at the beginning, if I do this, I've got 4 times 5k. Which is 20,000. Now, this is reflected in money because it makes it easy, but this could be in any sort of result. Well, how about, Jamie, I focus on 2 things at once. Okay, I'll put in time and energy to learn everything I need, invest in my education, invest in mentoring, invest in my marketing on this stream, and I'll do the exact same on that. It's like, right, so now you're going to split your time and your resources equally. Great idea. You've now got 2 times 12,500. Well done, you've now made 25,000, which, don't get me wrong, is a lot better than the person splitting it 4 times. But no offense, I think that is just dumb and dumber there. Now, so what can you do by focusing your full energy and attention on one stream of income? Well, you get 1 times 100% of the effort as it's going through. So instead of 4 sets of 5 or 2 sets of 12.5, you have 1 times 100,000, which is equal to 100,000. Then you've got the option of, oh, is that when I go and diversify? No, you keep on going, because guess what happens? And this is the real powerful thing. The great thing about it not being linear growth is even if it was 100%, year 1, you've got 100k. Year 2, you've got 200k. Year 3, you've got 300k, because that's how it would grow in a linear way. Whereas if we're looking at the exponential, let's do a small one here, you've still got 100k at the end of year 1, but look at the trajectory of this. You've learned everything. You've got a name in the industry. And by the way, I kind of made these mistakes earlier. I was like, oh, I'll try this now. Oh, I'll try this now. Oh, I'll try this now. No, focus your energy for another year and you're going to be around 250,000. Focus it for another year, you're probably going to be, I've drawn this terribly, about 500,000. Once you're at about 500,000 a year, I'm not saying don't use the money for investment, but then you can follow the given logic. So no, it is not the case that there are 7 streams of income for the average millionaire. The average millionaire and multimillionaires that I know, including myself, focused on one stream of income, become an absolute master, went from beginner to winner, disaster to master, and really fractured it down and outsourced it, and then they added one other stream of income, and then they repeated the process, only this time, whilst this took 3 years, this took 1, then the next one takes about 6 months, and then 1 month, and so on. And so eventually they might have 7 streams of income. But keep your focus, keep your attention, don't get shiny penny syndrome, and then once you've got that core focus, the results and consistency and persistency will start to show. I hope that's been massively valuable. I know it's a bit different to the other videos I've done. If you did get value, let me know below and I'll do more videos like this. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and of course hit the notification bell. And if you could lightly destroy the like button on the way to the next video, it would be massively appreciated.